Martinez. Thank you so much for the commenter who recommended this poem. It's a very unique poem. It's very interesting. So first of all, I noticed that the most developed mount is that of Apollo. So when Apollo is the most developed mount, it gives a person a strive to be very famous. It gives a person talent in the creative realm. So she is very talented, extremely creative, which you can also see by her dressing, and she also likes warm, bright colors. So that's also an Apollonian trait. Apollonians are usually very attractive, which she is, and they use they're mostly in the artistic realm. You will find them as anchors, newscasters, actors, singers, because they do very well in front of an audience or in front of a stage. Even lecturers, presenters, teachers, they make very good of these all professions. So that is a very good domain for them. And then we see that the Venus mount is also very developed. And when Venus mount is developed, so it gives a love of beauty, glamour, fashion, lifestyle, and all these things. So people with this combination of Apollo and Venus, they usually go into the entertainment industry because both of those needs are fulfilled. The other mount which is very developed is the mount of Jupiter. This means she is very ambitious. She has a go-getter attitude, and she's not satisfied with the least. She's only satisfied with the best. So a very ambitious personality. But I also noticed that her Saturn mount is not that strong. So she has to be very of legal trouble. She might have legal troubles, like maybe people suing her for something she maybe said in the song, or maybe for plagiarizing something. So anything can happen. Even in the matters of a relationship, if she enters a relationship, she has a chance of divorce. Especially people with the Apollo mode very strong, they have many short-term relationships before they have a long-term relationship, and they have very multiple relationships. So she will go through multiple relationships before finding the one. And even if she finds the one, like it could be like, oh, this is an ideal relationship. People who are her fans are looking like, oh, this is an ideal relationship. But it could be that even that relationship doesn't work out because the Saturn amount is not as strong. So she has some issues there, especially legal troubles like divorce. There's a high chance that she divorces her first spouse. So again, she has to be careful in the legal domain, getting sued, etc. That can cause problems. Her heartline is starting from between the two fingers. So this shows that she is both idealistic and practical. So she is balanced. So it's a very good start. But the heartline is going upwards, curving a lot. So she is very expressive. She might lose control of her emotions, even though her heartline is balanced with her headline. So she has to also be wary of like sudden outbursts of anger, not no control over her emotions, these kind of things. She has to be wary of these things. And then we see that the headline is going all the way towards the upper mount of moon. So the upper mount of moon represents intellect, so intellectual creativity. So she's an intellectual at heart, and she's very creative. Like if there's one word to describe her, it would be creative, and second would be unique. So her creativity is very unique. So her hand actually reflects and it reflects so accurately what she is in real life that even I was surprised at the accuracy of palm reading by reading her hand. And then we see that the the fate line is coming from the Mount Moon. Mount Moon is also a domain of creativity, and when it comes from the Mount Moon, it means that the person is on like a career path which is defined by other people. Like suppose you're in an advertising agency, so until your work is approved by moderators, meaning that it's first approved by the editor, then it's approved by the client. So in the same with singing, first it's approved by the producer, then it's approved by the public. So you need public approval. So anything with public approval is the fate line is coming from the Mount Moon. And then we see the line of life is going outward. So when the line of life is going very outwards, it means a life full of travel, a life full of exploration, and a life full of restlessness, because the Mount Moon also represents restlessness. And then we see that the thumb is like the logic phalange, this lower phalange here, is more developed than the will phalange. So this means she thinks a lot before doing anything, and that is also a positive trait. One negative trait could be that her execution abilities might sometimes not be as strong as her thinking abilities, meaning that she plans very well, executes not that well, but with time she will perfect this as well. And we also see that the thumb has a perfectionist angle, so she's a very perfectionist, very nitpicky about certain things, like say things should be like this. And this is also shown by her fingers. If you notice that the fingers, the tips are pointed. So when the tips are pointed, this means the person is extremely idealistic, extremely um, philosophical, extremely like these things should be like this, things shouldn't be like this. So she's very nitpicky. She might be a hard person to work with or even be in a relationship with, because she's very nitpicky even about the smallest things. If you notice that the Mercury finger is extremely long, which shows her intelligence and also musical ability. So musical ability comes from this Mercury finger and also the shape of the hand, which is an air hand. So air hand are natural communicators. They like to communicate like naturally. So what happens is that singers also need this communicative ability. So the fingers are very well balanced with the palm. The palm is long, the fingers are long, so that's an air hand. And then we see that the fingers are arranged on a balanced arc. All the fingers are balanced with each other. So this means she not only gets opportunities more easily than other people, but she makes use of those opportunities. So she's a big go-getter. The Apollo finger is extremely long, almost reaching the top of the Saturn finger. So this means she's a gambler. She is a risk taker, extreme risk taker. So she likes experimentation. She cannot live without experimentation, and I cannot see this woman going into any other field except for the creative field which she is in. So a very interesting, and also to finish with, we will see that the angle of generosity is large. So she might do a lot of philanthropic endeavors, and she might donate a lot to charity. So this is all for Melanie Martinez. I really enjoyed this palm reading. Again, thanks for the commenter who recommended this, and I hope they also enjoy this palm reading, and I hope you all also enjoyed this palm reading as much as I did making this video. Thank you so much, and until the next video, let's meet again.